Alright, we're going to be doing our Worth 1000 tutorial. I've started out with a photograph that I want to work with, and the first step that I did was I went to filter and I converted it for a smart filter, so you can see it's a smart filter. So that's the first step. Second step, I've already got a start on it. I'm going to make a vector mask. So I'm going to continue, I'm going to finish this here and make a vector mask. So I went all the way around, and I'm going to click the mask option twice, which cut out the background for me. And then I'm going to add a gray solid color background. There you go, 939393. That's good. And I'm going to put that up underneath there. There we go. Because I made it a smart filter, I'm going to now add a filter, and I'm going to make a blur filter that is a Gaussian blur. And if yours is 8.5 by 11 by 300 resolution, which it should always be, 20 pixels radius should do the trick. If not, you may need to adjust based on your image. Okay, but if you did the same size as me, it should work fine. Now you'll notice kind of a rough cutout edge on that. Let's fix that too. So I'm going to click on the mask. I'm going to open up properties, and I'm going to feather this exactly 20 pixels. Now I have a blurry picture, which is exactly what I want. Next, I'm going to make it black and white. So underneath my adjustment layers, I'm going to make it black and white. And I want to get a nice, good high contrast. So you can tinker around with these to help get some contrast on yourself. And this is what we need to save for the next step. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Map for displacement map. And I'm going to just let it go in the downloads is fine for now. And save. Now then, I want to actually take the Gaussian blur off, so just unclick the eyeball of the Gaussian blur, and go back to your mask and turn the feather back off also. So we're back to kind of our regular picture. Now if this little blue line around here is bothering you, you can do Control H, will hide it so you don't have to see it anymore. Next thing I'm going to do is cover this entire thing with text, and I'm going to grab a text tool. I'm going to drag a text box around it. And I want this to be just like I want your picture to be your own. I want your text to be your own. So you can use poems that you've written, stories you've written, or what I'm doing, I did some binary code. I just found a website online that converts stuff to binary. And it's not quite as pretty because the pattern doesn't look great, but I'm going to get that. Now, if your text is really off, like it's really big or really wonky or whatever, you can just do Control A to select it all, and then open up your character window and come back here to Reset Character. And that should reset everything right back to the way that it was before. Right there, Reset. And you can see, yeah, I've got Myriad Pro 12, etc., etc. But what I'm looking for on this text is to get about 3 lines of text on my eye. And you also want it to be all caps. Mine's all caps to begin with, but if you just click right here, that'll turn it to all caps. As far as font choice, I wouldn't go with anything scripty or anything like that, so something pretty like, standard, easy to read as really small, things along those lines. Probably sans serif would be good, meaning no little extra frillies. Here's a pretty basic one I just found. And then if you did the 8.5 by 11 by 300, about a 9-point font should get it small enough. And then on this setting, about 8, and that's the spacing in between. You can see that. Now I can look on my eyeball and I see about 3 lines of text, and that's exactly what you want. So if your picture is bigger or smaller, you may need to adjust those accordingly to get it the way you want it. Last thing I probably want to do is come up here to where it says regular and see if I have a bold option and do bold if I can. And that looks a little bit better. There's also a faux bold option right here. which will make it even thicker. Okay? So once you got all the text set, then you can come up here and hit yes to it. I'm going to put this actually on the top just to make it easier to understand what I'm doing. Step one, again, this is going to do some destructive editing, so we always want to copy that. So if you need to go back, if you decided your text was too small or too wide or too whatever, you've got your option to come back here and edit it. And I'm just going to hide that copy, that first copy, so I can edit it. Now I'm going to convert this one into Smart Filters. And you'll notice over here it changes from a text to an image. So I can't edit this any longer, and that's what the backup's for. So with this now, I need to make it wavy, make it look like on our tutorial or final, it's going to kind of contour the edges of our face. And to do that, I'm going to go Filter, Distort, Displace. And I've found from practicing that 15 works good for, again, an 8.5 by 11 sheet. You may want to play with, go down to 10, or if it's not too much, or 20 or 25 if it's not enough, depending on your image. And then I'm going to hit OK, and then it's going to ask me to pick an image, a displacement map. And I called this one Map for that reason. And hit Open. And as I zoom in, you can see the distortion in the letters. That's exactly what I'm looking for. See how it's wavy in the darks and light areas. Next step is on this layer, you're going to hold down Control and click right on that layer, and that will select. So if I zoom in really, really tight, you can see that selected all the text. But I don't want to copy and paste the text, so I have to hide the text. So just click on the eyeball and hide it, so you just have the selection. And now with the selection, you're going to go up here to Edit, Copy Merged. You need to you can't just do Control-C, it's got to be Copy Merged, so you copy everything. So Copy Merged, and then Paste, Control-V. And it pasted right there. It doesn't look like anything happened right yet, but as soon as I add a black layer underneath, there you see the effect now. And that is our Worth 1000 tutorial.